So there's this fragrance that came out in the 90s that people are still talking about. This girl makes boys smell this in the streets. This guy right here tells you to buy it every chance he gets, but he puts cat food on his English muffins, so he might be totally crazy. We don't know. The fragrance we're talking about is Versace Blue Jeans. And the question is this fragrance actually any good? Versace Blue Jeans came out in 1994, and it's still sold today at a very reasonable price, which is part of the reason why people keep recommending it. A lot of times you can find this thing for less than 20 bucks, and if it's bang for your buck that you're looking for, this is sort of hard to beat. People like Jeremy Fragrance have been touting this fragrance for years and years as one of the best fragrances for young gentlemen. Given the price that you can get this at, I understand that 1000%. The question is this really suitable for today's modern young gentleman? Why don't we break this down, shall we? Without going into all the notes, which there is a lot of them, this is actually a pretty complex, cheapy fragrance. Let's just discuss the overall smell and feeling that you get with the fragrance. A lot of people describe this fragrance as having a cola type smell, which it does, but it's kind of a spicier type cola, like a Coca-Cola, rather than a Pepsi or something. You get some citruses, some vanilla, and some spices in there, making this whole thing a really nice complex fragrance. But there is one issue that I have with recommending this fragrance to young people in 2022. This fragrance is actually quite floral, and it's not like a modern heavy iris type fragrance. Blue Jeans has florals that were commonly used in the 80s in lots of men's fragrances, which I feel makes this smell kinda dated. The florals don't make it smell bad or anything, but things like rose and carnation definitely give it a throwback feel, and if people tell you that it doesn't, they probably didn't smell a fragrance before 2000. That being said, that's why I question whether or not it's appropriate for a young dude in 2022. It is pretty versatile, it does last a good amount of time, and its projection is pretty good. And for the price, I mean, you can't really complain too much. If I was a teenager in 2022, I don't think I would want to wear it. You'll see a lot of reviews online of people stating that they didn't like this fragrance at first, but when they come back to it years later, they seem to like it more. I tend to think that that's due to nostalgia and people thinking about the good old days, and this fragrance definitely does that for you. If you're looking for a time machine fragrance, this is definitely one of those. If I was in high school and looking for something that I could wear that wasn't going to break the bank, it would probably be something like Original Penguin Premium Blend or CK1 Shock or something, because they don't smell like 1994. But I'm not a teenager, and that's not really what the point of this video is. The question is this a good fragrance still in 2022? Yeah, it is. It's definitely worth the price, and it's definitely more complex than the price would indicate. There's also a lot of aspects of the smell that people are still going to enjoy. And you can't really ignore the fact that sometimes you can find this in a rag store for like $8 or something. So yeah, I feel like in 2022, Versace Blue Jeans is still a good fragrance. But I feel like people need to chill out on the internet regarding Versace Blue Jeans. Like, move on with your life, people. Just move on. Let me know in the comments what you think about Versace Blue Jeans, and if you also think that maybe it's a little outdated for young people in 2022. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you love it. Maybe you think it's as modern as it gets and it's a masterpiece. I don't know. The moral of the story is, don't put cat food on your English muffins. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. I love ya. Peace.